Okay, thank you all for joining me today to learn about Strikepoint. So as Eric said, we are focused in northwestern BC, in Canada, and we've also got large holdings in the Yukon. So our primary listing is on the TSX. We trade under symbol SKP. Just a cautionary forward-looking statement. So the Golden Triangle, this is where Strikepoint is focused. We have two advanced exploration assets in the Triangle. For those of you who are not familiar with the Triangle, it's a very well-endowed part of the world. It's seen about 130 million ounces of gold discovered. And just in the last 30 years alone, half of those discoveries have been made. So there's a few factors that are impacting the opportunity in the Triangle. One of the things is ice recession, glacier retreat. We've also got a tremendous increase in infrastructure. There's been about $700 million of power lines that have brought power into the Golden Triangle in recent years. We've also got a tremendous amount of road systems that have come in. So the Triangle is an area known for large copper and gold deposits. Strikepoint is at the bottom. It's at the southern tip of the Triangle, close to the town of Stewart, which has an ocean port. In terms of the management team, we've got a really strong, diverse group, highly technical. The one common characteristic amongst the management team here is it's a group of geologists, mining engineers, capital markets professionals who have successfully acquired, explored, discovered, and sold companies to larger companies. So for example, Adrian Fleming, one of our lead directors, was part of a takeover last year. Coeur Mining bought Northern Empire. Previous to that, both Adrian and Rob, founders of Underworld Resources up in the Yukon, sold to Kinross for $140 million. And Ian Harris, who is a mining engineer, was instrumental in the sale of Corriente. So we've got a track record of bringing value to shareholders, and that's what we're trying to do here with Strikepoint. Very strong capital structure. We're probably one of the smaller companies here at the Swiss Mining Institute. We've got a $6 million market cap. However, you're going to see the same types of renowned precious metal shareholders, despite it being a smaller company. So we have two corporate shareholders. These are two companies that are focused in the Triangle, Ascot and Skeena. Eric Sprott rounds out as one of the top shareholders, strong institutional shareholders, including a Swiss shareholder in Gold 2000, and well held in North America as well. Management has significant skin in the game. We've got about a plus 10% position. The stock trades with very good liquidity, particularly when we're operating exploration programs. We traded about 40 million shares throughout the summer months, bringing in about $1 million of liquidity a day. What I've done here is I've taken a 5-year gold chart, and my strategy with Strikepoint back in 2016, as gold was bottoming around $1,030 US an ounce, I thought it was a good time to start acquiring gold and silver assets in safe jurisdictions. I chose northwestern BC and the Yukon because my technical team has had a lot of success there. They know the service providers. They're familiar with the rocks. So we set upon a strategy, due to the fact that the majors were not replenishing their ounces, they were not putting money into exploration. So what we've done here in the last 3 years is we've acquired 25 gold and silver properties. If you take the total market cap of the companies that had the properties, it was close to $500 million worth of gold properties. Our acquisition costs were $8 million. So we paid about a penny on the dollar. And we were very aggressive up until April acquiring properties. And now the focus is going to shift to exploration, divestment, joint ventures. We've successfully raised $14 million in the last 3 years and spent $10 million on exploration. So the focus here is our largest shareholder, Ascot, is reactivating one of the richest gold mines in the world, the Premier Mine. And they've been growing through taking over other companies in the area, so the neighboring properties, the neighboring mines. So Ascot has spent $70 million acquiring our neighbors, and again, in the context of Strikepoint, who's got a $6 million market cap. So Ascot's a large shareholder. Their CFO, Carol Lee, sits on my board of directors, and they've recently acquired Red Mountain. Why that's significant to us is our Willoughby property is 4 miles from Red Mountain. It's set in the same rocks, and we are very lucky to have the team that proved up 800,000 ounces at Red Mountain and successfully sold the company to Ascot, now working on exploring, developing, and building resources at Willoughby. So Rob McLeod, who is the CEO of IDM Mining, is a technical advisor of Strikepoint, and we've got the entire IDM technical team working on exploration of the property. We've also got a high-grade silver resource stage property, Porter Silverado, which is on the left-hand side of the page, which currently has about a 12 million ounce resource. So the opportunity at Willoughby, we've inherited a tremendous amount of historical work. There's been about 120 drill holes on the property and a tremendous amount of success in the past. There's an adit that runs into the side of the mountain as well. And who you see pictured here is the CEO of Sabina Gold and Silver, Bruce McLeod, who him and his father, Don McLeod, were the last explorers on the property back in the mid-1990s. Just a little bit about the geology of the area. The big copper and gold deposits in the triangle sit amongst what's known as the red line. So it's where two rock types meet. And basically what I'm illustrating here is that the mineralization that has been found in the past and that we confirmed this summer falls within that 2-kilometer window. We've got 2 zones of mineralization that have been identified that have a 1.5-kilometer strike length. This is what really encouraged Strikepoint to acquire the property. As you can see here, there's some extraordinarily high grades. The Golden Triangle is home to some of the largest, richest gold deposits and silver in the world. And as you can see here with some of the grades we've highlighted in multiple zones, 120 grams of gold, 2,500 grams of silver over mineable widths. The question mark and the reason for the low valuation in Strikepoint is, does it hold together? And that's what we're going to be looking to try to prove. With our maiden drill program this year on the property, we drilled 2,000 meters focused on 2 areas on the property. As you can see, this is rugged, steep terrain. We've got some of the best explorationists that are built for projects that have these types of challenges. And this is quite common in the triangle, looking at successful operations like Bruce Jack, some of the other very successful projects. Very similar types of terrain. This is just a drone image here, just giving you a look here at drill pad. Let's see here. Oh, going back here. Okay, so this is what we accomplished this summer. So if you can see here in the center of the page, a lot of the historical work was in the center. We validated the historic grades that were hit 25 years ago. But more importantly, if you look at the right-hand side of your page, we stepped out 100 meters and hit 26 grams of gold, 95 grams of silver over 4 meters. So we're successfully, with just a very small drill program, successfully expanding the known area. We've also got 3 holes to report from the phase 1 drilling. So we've only reported 50% of our drill results. And the second phase, again, we're finding gold in every hole, ranging from 1 gram to 100 gram gold. And we've got another 3 holes to report from the second phase. In addition to the drilling, we did a tremendous amount of surface work, understanding some of the controls of the property. The surface program was focused on the margins of where the ice is melting and receding. We're finding, we're the first humans to walk these areas that are newly exposed. We're finding gold values and silver values up to 70-gram gold, up to 300-gram silver. And what we have pending is we took a rock saw onto the property, and we've got some channels that are pending. In addition to Willoughby, we've got the Porter project, which is 2 past producing silver mines. It overlooks the town of Stewart. It's 2 kilometers from Stewart. Exceptional high grades. The opportunity here is this sat in a private company from 1978 to 2016. We acquired the property from Skeena Resources in 2018 as they're focused on Eskay Creek. And the opportunity here is you had 2 independent groups that were producing from either side of Mount Rainey. This project was never looked at as one continuous structure. And so last summer we got onto the property. We had a lot of exploration success. We found new veins outside of the existing resource area, and we're finding grades that are elevated from the average grade in the 43-101. Lastly, in addition to the advanced stage exploration assets in the Triangle, we've got a very, very famous portfolio of properties. This portfolio was put together by famed prospector Shawn Ryan. Shawn Ryan was the prospector behind the Golden Saddle deposit, which was acquired for $140 million, behind Coffee, which was acquired for $500 million. What this portfolio represents is 22 of Shawn Ryan's properties that have seen about $32 million worth of exploration grooming. So we are truly in elephant country here. If you look at some of these projects, they're 80-kilometer by 20-kilometer trends. On the Golden Ollie package, we've identified 8 intrusion-related gold systems. So what this gives Strikepoint is it gives us optionality. It gives us opportunities to joint venture, divest. We've got large holdings around where Victoria has recently taken a mine into production. We've got large holdings south of the White Gold District. And the nice thing about this portfolio, and being in Canada, it's in good standing for the next 10 years based on the amount of work that was done in the past. So we don't have to spend any money keeping this in good standing. And then last slide, we truly have a commitment to the local communities, the First Nations, the town of Stewart. We've got a very, very, very strong ties with the local workforce. So again, just in closing, I want to thank you for the opportunity, and I just want to stress the fact that, in my history, in my opinion, in a normal market, I know a lot of the companies here are undervalued, but if you look at just the acquisitions we made, we're trading below those acquisition costs. We've got cash in the treasury, I think the current share price, the current valuation is just tremendous opportunity. So thank you, Eric.